but I had to know what he was up to. What if he was breaking into the school? I decided to follow him. And at one point...
She's definitely white. So you went through all this for some... She did all this for some rump. If you guys don't know what rump is, rump sounds about white.
Driving down Santa Monica with an 80K. Wanna know what this fame will bring? Gucci belts and diamond rings. I hope this shit don't change.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jay, aka Prince, coming to you with another video. And guys, so if y'all boys and girls in the kingdom. Now, today we've been doing a reaction video. As you guys can see, this is the reaction setup. If you're new here, when I sit down here, it's to talk to y'all or watch something with y'all. You feel me? Today we're about to be reacting to I Followed My Crush to the Basement and Instantly Regretted It by My Story Animated. You guys told me to watch this. I went on Instagram Live and asked you guys what you guys want me to react to because I haven't posted in 3 days. Tomorrow make 4. That is unacceptable. I apologize. Forgive me. If you guys first told me you guys wanted me to react to scary stuff, I would have done it, but you guys told me to do this. I ain't scared, like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't scared of no scary movies or nothing like that. I ain't scared of, you know what I'm saying? I've been a thug, like, I be in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? What, with a Glock and a 30. You guys told me to watch this, so we about to hop right into it. This video is 60 minutes long, so I'm gonna try not to pause as much, just so this video don't get dragged out. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe to your channel, turn on post notification. If you're new, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I think I said that twice. Now, okay. I don't know if the lights is supposed to be off for this. I don't know if it's scary or not, so I don't think it's scary. I mean, it wouldn't matter if it was scary because I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't scared, so let's go. Let's just get into it. Never look down on any. What? Come on, bro. I'm kind of slow. Never look down on anybody unless you're helping them out. Why would you? That makes no sense because if you're helping somebody, you guys are supposed to be at. I don't know. I wanted to argue that. I don't have a reason to.
I was running through the rain trying to get home as quickly as possible when I noticed my crush James walking onto the school grounds. I didn't want him to see me like this. I was soaked to the bone, looking like a drowned rat. But I had to know what he was up to. What if he was breaking into the school? I decided to follow him. And at one point...
She's definitely white. So... your crush, you know what I'm saying? Your crush is pouring rain and you see your crush and you follow him? Okay, as if it is going.
I swear, he turned around and looked right at me. I didn't know if I was seeing things, but it even looked like he smiled at me. Wait, did he want me to follow him? Suddenly, I felt brave. I was going to tell him how I felt. The moment I'd waited for my whole life had arrived. But then I saw him climbing into the tornado shelter, and that should have been my first warning not to keep following him, because things were about to get super weird. Before I unleash my crazy story onto you, click like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the madness that My Story Animated has in store for you. Okay, so there I was, climbing into a tornado shelter after my crush, with absolutely no plan of what I'd do next. I was acting purely on impulse, and it felt amazing. I felt sure he knew I'd climbed in after him, but I couldn't see anything, so I used the flashlight on my phone and realized...
Yeah, so you went through all this for some... She did all this for some rump. If you guys don't know what rump is, rump sounds about white.
He'd already gone down the stairs. The rain was really pouring now, so I closed the lid. The last thing I wanted was to flood the shelter. Not on a special night like tonight. I'd never been this close to James before. Just the two of us alone. Except we weren't alone. As soon as I closed the lid, I heard a girl's voice. No! I started panicking and decided this had been a stupid idea. I pushed the lid to climb back out, but it wouldn't open. No matter how hard I pushed it, it didn't budge. Oh my gosh, I was stuck. If it had just been me and James down there, it would have been quite exciting. But suddenly I heard a kissing sound and I realized my worst nightmare had just come true. I was stuck in a tornado shelter with my crush and his girlfriend by the sounds of things. I didn't want them to know I was there, like some creepy stalkers, so I tried to keep as quiet as possible. I could hear them laughing, and then the girl said, "Did anyone see you come in here? I hope we didn't get caught." And James replied, "No, I don't think so. Oh no, wait, there was a girl from my school, but she wouldn't say anything. She's such a loser." At that, I had to cover my face. I wanted to cry. It felt like he'd shoved a knife through my heart. And then I felt angry. I had to get out of there. This was literally the most embarrassing situation to ever be in. And what would my parents think when they found out? I gave the lid one final push, but I pushed too hard. The next moment, I lost my footing and was rolling down the stairs. I landed with a thump and blacked out for a second.
What a stickhead.
They didn't even ask me if I was okay. James just looked down at me and said, "Did you follow me here? What are you playing at?" Then he turned to his girlfriend and said, "Come on, babe, let's bounce." Then they just left me lying there and headed up the stairs. I was about to tell them that we were trapped down there, but they'd soon discover it for themselves. I could hear James bashing on the lid of the shelter, but obviously it wouldn't open. And then he shouted down to me and asked if I'd done this and if I thought it was funny. No, James, I did not find this funny. I wanted to shut up at him. Gosh, what would he say if he knew how much I wished I were his girlfriend?
You said
and
you're
not
a
that
stickhead.
dumb- She said, "Yeah, right. You're clearly a stalker. Do you get kicks out of watching other people making out or something?" James said you're a loser, and he wasn't joking. Look at you. If I hadn't already been underground, I'd have asked the ground to swallow me up. No one had ever been so mean to me before. After that, it was really uncomfortable, and all of us were in a bad mood. Finally, morning came, and by then my phone was at 2%. Soon, I wouldn't even know what time it was. I was bursting for the toilet, so I went to use it, and of course, Amy shouted at me and said my peeing was too loud and had woken her up. Then I noticed there was a light switch outside the toilet. I clicked on it, not expecting it to work, and suddenly the whole shelter was flooded with light. Amy quickly pulled the blanket up and told me to look away. Oh my gosh, were they not wearing clothes? Then Amy just laughed and said everyone knows that body heat is the best way to survive in cold weather. Ew! Once they got dressed, I realized how pretty Amy was, and it really annoyed me. I didn't want James noticing. I could hear the school bell and feet walking over us, but no one heard me scream.
This shit is trash! Bro, what do y'all have me watching, bro? Like, I almost fell asleep. Low key, I ain't gonna front. Let me just get through it, bro.
How long would we be down here? James was complaining about being hungry and Amy too, but I knew Amy had eaten something in the night. She was a liar. We started looking around the place to see if we could find anything, and James suddenly sounded happy. Under the sandbags, he'd found some old bottles of water. The water looked disgusting, but I'd have drunk anything by that point. Both James and I downed like a liter each, but Amy refused. Suit yourself, I thought. Then about an hour later, I started getting a weird pain in my stomach. Oh no. There was no toilet paper. This couldn't be happening. I had to run and almost puked my guts up. And I wasn't the only one. James raced in after me, and at one point, we were both lying on the floor taking it in turns to vomit. Not exactly what I had in mind for our first date together. That water must have been 20 years old or something. Amy got seriously annoyed and even tried to drag James out of the bathroom. Was she jealous? And then I noticed an empty soda bottle behind the toilet. Had Amy secretly had a bottle of soda and not told us? How selfish. That first day seemed to fly by. Most of it spent in the bathroom, of course. By the end of the day, I'd almost lost my voice from screaming for help. Would we be stuck down there forever? And then nighttime came, and James and Amy got into a huge fight. Secretly, it made me happy to see them argue. James deserved better. He was super upset that he'd missed his football game, but Amy just kept saying he could go to college with her and then they'd never be apart. And James got really angry and said he didn't want to go to her college.
Don't he kind of look like not Bat. Don't he kind of look like Robin? Never mind.
A while later, I heard someone saying my name. I opened my eyes and could see James. He said he could hear my teeth chattering and that I should come and share their blanket. But if Amy woke up and saw me, she'd go mental. I didn't care about her though. James was actually being kind of nice to me for the first time in my life. I couldn't lose my chance. So I climbed under the blanket next to him. Our legs were almost touching. And of course, that woke Amy up. And when she saw me, I thought she was going to explode. James wanted to keep the peace, so he snuggled into her and left me lying there all alone. But I couldn't stop thinking about the moment we just shared. And during the night, I decided to try and get closer to him. I rolled over until I was almost right at his back. But then I heard something. They were kissing. I was watching them, wishing it was me he was kissing. I couldn't stop staring, but suddenly, Amy opened her eyes and caught me what?
Bro, this sounds like a story from a tour of your girl out in Idaho. Like, ain't no black girl doing this. Ain't no black girl going to no shelter to chase no boy.
But James said I was asleep and that they should get some sleep too. But James didn't go back to sleep. He waited until Amy was snoring next to him, and then he reached out his hand and grabbed mine. I felt like my heart was going to explode, and I so badly wanted to get closer to him.
Huh? Oh.
So we fell asleep holding hands, and I couldn't stop smiling. In the morning, though, I was lying there all alone. When Amy got up to go to the bathroom, I smiled at James, and he smiled back. But then Amy came out and saw me and said, "Freak, stop staring at us like that." I thought James would stick up for me, but he didn't. He was acting like nothing had happened between us. The rest of that day was kind of weird. We just sat around quietly. At one point, James almost fainted. I mean, we were all starving. I was so weak, I just kept napping, and when I woke up from one of my naps, James and Amy were eating biscuits. Where did they get them from? I could almost...
Ain't that a cookie?
I was so mad. I couldn't sleep that night because my stomach was rumbling so loudly. But once Amy had fallen asleep, James reached into his pocket and handed me a biscuit. I swear I almost...
Bro, that's a cookie! Bro, what is this? Why y'all got me watching this? This shit is trash!
Him right there and then. This was why I had a crush on him. He was actually a good guy, even if he had a demon for a girlfriend. For the next few nights, we got into a bit of a routine. After Amy fell asleep, we'd lie there and hold hands. And one night, James came right up to me, and I could tell he was about to kiss me. But Amy started murmuring in her sleep, and he quickly moved over to her and held her. It drove me crazy. After we'd been down there for like 6 days, things were really starting to smell. The toilet, my clothes, it was nasty. And still, James and I hadn't shared a kiss. But for some... Under where she'd been sitting was a loose part of the floorboard. I lifted it up and couldn't believe what I was seeing. There was so much stuff down there. Beauty products, food, a battery pack, even clothes. Oh my gosh, what was going on? I didn't have time to put the floorboard back before James appeared to find the spider. I whispered that Amy had been hiding stuff. James came running over and pulled out her phone. He knew her password and typed it in quickly. Then he saw some messages that said things like, "I need to find a way to stop him going off to college. I'm scared he'll leave me." As he was reading them and I was eating one of her secret chocolate bars, she came down the stairs. "What are you doing?" she screamed. But it was too late. We'd caught her red-handed. She tried to grab her phone back from James, but he wouldn't give it to her. Eventually, she broke down and said that she didn't want James to leave her for college, so she planned this. But she had only meant for them to be stuck down there for 1 or 2 days. Then she said I'd ruined it all by...
These girls ain't shit! Man, you see? See what girls do? They're selfish, bro. Last time I trusted a girl I didn't eat for 2 weeks. She trapped my son downstairs. My son James. Son James is about to go to the league. She trapped him downstairs so that he wouldn't go off to college and leave her. That's selfish. You need to be selfless.
Turning up and getting them locked in here. But there was something else. While she'd been talking, I'd been digging around, and inside a pair of her socks was a key. I held it in my hands and watched as James went crazy at Amy. He said he couldn't believe he dated such a psycho and that she'd officially ruined his life. Then the best part of all, he turned to me and apologized. He said he was sorry he treated me so badly, but actually he'd realized how amazing I was and had enjoyed our sneaky hand-holding sessions while Amy slept. At that, Amy went berserk. She ran towards me and I quickly jumped away. Then I watched as she dug around inside her secret hiding place. "Looking for this?" I asked, swinging the key in my hand. Then I turned to James and said, "She's been hiding this key the whole time." Before Amy could get to it, I ran up the stairs and undid the lock. James was right behind me and we both climbed out and collapsed onto the ground laughing. We were free! As Amy climbed out, I thought she was going to kick me or something, but she just stormed off. And James shouted after her, "That's right, keep walking. I never want to see your face again." Finally, she was gone, and James turned to me and gave me the biggest kiss ever. We could see the janitor.
Yeah! 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 That's on James! Yes! My guy! That's how you finish it! That's how you do it! This shit was trash, but at least it ended good!
They're running towards us, and before all hell broke loose with our parents about where we'd been for the past week, James asked for my number, and now we're about to go on our first proper date. The worst week of my life just became the best week.
That shit was so trash. Don't ever ask me to react to nothing like this again, bro. I would have better reacted to the horror movie that y'all asked me to do. This was trash. It was like 16 minutes long, bro, and it was like 10 minutes of BS. Like, oh my god. Yo, don't ever ask me to react to this again, bro. Hey, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notification. If you're new, if you guys want me to react to something else, leave it down in the comments or send it to my Instagram. One of these corners, bro. I'm done guessing. It's one of these two corners. Go follow me on Instagram, bro. Go send in the videos you guys want me to react to. If you guys want me to react to something scary, Halloween is coming up, bro. You know what I'm saying? I do it. Make sure you guys get this video to, if you guys get this video to 25 likes, I'll do it. So, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notification if you're new. It's your boy Jaden. It's your boy Jaden. It's your boy Prince. And I'm out.
You don't wanna get us pulled over, you get left like Coley Coke. And grab the dot, just let that beat with accuracy. Pray for the peace, cause niggas can't hack this heat. I get dropped from freaks like Malai, keep that on fleek. And that's on me, rude and dead, don't get no breach. 2, 2, 2, 3 in a stick, hands on the grip and manages blitz.